Hello everybody, hope you're all well. You are used to seeing me the other way around, but I'm currently live on my phone today because I want to hopefully be able to turn the camera around and do some drawing for you. No, you are not in the wrong group. I'm just checking that I'm live in the right group and my laptop won't switch on, so that's great. But yeah, you are in the right group. This is a health and fitness based group, but oh, that's why it's not working. It needs charging. But the tool that I want to use today is a lot more visual, and I just wanted to show you it all while I was doing it. I was going to draw it out and show you pictures, but I thought, nah, I'll just write it. So, yep, I am in the right place. All right. I'm going to talk about stress. I myself have had a pretty crappy week, and I'll go into that. And I have also been speaking to a few people in this group, not just this week, but just generally. I've been speaking to a few clients, and they have a lot on. I'm going to use the word blame. They are blaming everything that they've going on in their life on not being able to focus on their health. They'll do everything to prioritize everything else other than their health, which we all know isn't the right thing to do. And then knowing that fact, because you do care about your health, you're in this group, but knowing that fact then adds extra stress to you. And stress is not great. We all know stress isn't that great. I'm not going to be teaching you about how bad stress is for our body, but I do just want to say that stress is normal. But we can combat stress, and we can reduce our stress and manage it in an easy way that is accessible to every single person in this group. And this tool that I am going to go over will help you out. It's helped many people out before, and I don't think I have talked on this tool for a number of years. I was first introduced to this tool when I was in my corporate job, and if you didn't know, I was in a corporate job. I was working up in management, up in a head office for essentially Walmart UK, working around about 50 plus hours a week, pretty damn stressed out. I was going to the gym because it was something that I enjoyed doing, but I probably wasn't prioritizing my nutrition, which is often what people allow to slip on the wayside when they are feeling a bit stressed, when they are overwhelmed, when there's too much going on. And also I was feeling a bit crap. I was stressed, definitely stressed out, overwhelmed by a lot of things. I was drinking more alcohol than what I should have been drinking. I was definitely overweight. I wasn't feeling that great. And that's when I was introduced to this tool. So I'm really grateful that the corporate world actually introduced me to this stress management tool. But I'm going to talk about why I am bringing it up now again, and it's because I myself have been a little bit stressed this week, but more from a physical perspective. So we can talk about mental health, which is really important, and yes, I do get stressed from a mental health perspective as well, but also we do have physical stresses to our bodies that often do not get acknowledged, and that's what I'm just going to be quickly touching on now. As we're in a group of females, I am under a bit of stress from a female perspective, from a female hormone perspective. I'm struggling with my PMS. My PMS is starting around about 12 days before my period, which is not ideal. I've been really grumpy this month. I have just not been myself. I've felt really tired, so the fatigue has set in. I've not been able to focus, a lot of brain fog, and then this last couple of days since I have come on my period, I've had the physical stress of pain as well. I'm not here for the advice from people in terms of how I can fix that. I am on my own journey, and I have done a lot of research in this, and I'm very up and down with my hormones. Got a thyroid issue, so there's something going on in my endocrine system, but what I did want to say is that the physical stresses can come into play as well, and these often can be a little bit harder to overcome in terms of stress management. But there's other physical stresses as well that can come into the world. So things like viruses or other medical conditions that might have flare-ups as well. I know there's a few people in here, like myself, who have autoimmune conditions, which can flare up and cause that physical stress. But what we can do is we can manage them in some way by doing things that do relieve our stress. And sometimes you might have heard that exercise relieves stress, and it's a big stress reliever. But when we've got physical stresses that are causing us pain or fatigue, it might not be the case that we're able to do a big sweaty gym workout to feel that endorphin rush, but we might be able to go for a gentle walk or a gentle stretch or just something like that. But what I think is important is to find some other stress relieving activities that might not necessarily be related to exercise, but that are going to help create more space in your brain and to reduce a bit of stress from a mental perspective, which will create more space for you to be able to work out how to heal yourself, whether it is taking a trip to your GP or other medical professional, whether it is sorting out your nutrition, which is what I've been focusing on a lot with my own health, and whether it is fitting in an exercise routine. So just want to let you all know that if you are stressed from a physical or mental perspective, it's completely normal. I'm going to jump in on this tool now because I don't want to talk too much, because this tool is really important. I need to move my keyboard out of the way, and hopefully I can multitask and I can draw for you all so you can see what I'm drawing, and it's a really nice visual tool. You may or may not have heard of this before. If you've been in my world for, well, it's coming up to 5 years now, you will have heard me talk about this tool before. If you are new, probably in the last 2 years maybe, if you haven't caught up on my old live videos that have been flying around the internet for a few years, you might not have heard of the stress bucket. This is called the stress bucket exercise, and I'm just going to flip my camera around. At any point, if you do want to say hi to me or let me know if you are feeling stressed out, I'm just going to move that because that is tax information which you guys do not need to see, but yeah, please do comment. So I'm just going to write it here, the stress bucket exercise. One of my favorite tools when I'm feeling stress is how I can actually reassess where I am from a stress perspective. One thing that I do want to note before we jump in is I want to just draw a few buckets here, smaller and smaller. Like our physical appearance, we all have different stress bucket sizes. So some people might have a large ability to be able to deal with a high amount of stress. Some people have a small bucket, and some people obviously going to sit into the middle here. But that doesn't mean that these people here are doomed. What it just means is that these people need to practice stress relieving activities more often than these people. Or not necessarily. If this person can keep practicing smaller, that'll keep them down as well. Just move it down here. So what I mean by this is that we all have a stress bucket. So this is our bucket here, and it fills up with stress. The stresses will fill up at the top. So we're thinking about stresses as water or rain or whatever it might be, but the stress comes in to the top. You can tell I'm a bit stressed because I can't spell stress. 3 S's on there, super stressed. But anyway, yeah, so the stress comes into here, and this could be anything. It could be your family. It could be work. It could be an illness. Oh my God, my spelling. It could be whatever it is. And as the same as up here, our buckets are different. These stresses here are completely different for everybody as well. Some people might find that their family are actually stress relievers for them. Some people might find that work, they actually love work. Some people might actually find going to the gym might be a stressor for them. Whatever it might be, your stresses going in here, they start filling the bucket up. When the bucket starts to get here is when it's a little bit dangerous. This is when we're on the verge of that burnout. We're tired. We get grumpy. We can't function. Let me know how you feel when you feel stressed. You know when you're in this area here and you're just in the zone of stress. We're all going to get here at some point in our lives, it's completely normal. But I do just want you to write down how you feel so that you can recognize that maybe your stress bucket is maybe getting a little bit too high. And if someone is watching this and they're looking at the comments and they see that their stress might not necessarily be high, they might not be thinking that stress is high, but they might be feeling these symptoms, then they might want to reassess where they are from a stress perspective. It's not all doom and gloom though. We can empty this bucket, but what we want to do is we want to get some stress relieving activities here to add in some holes into the stress bucket so that the water flows out of your bucket and that'll reduce the stress. So we want to reduce the stress. What kind of things here? So again, at the bottom, these stress relieving activities might be completely different from each other. So like I said at the top, there was family. Family might be down here for some people. Some people might really find spending time with their family is a stress relief for them. They might find that they can have a chat with them and just feel so much better. It might be spending time with friends. Similarly, it might be alone time. I personally love having a bit of alone time. I find this very stress relieving. It might be reading. It could be going to the gym. But as I said, the gym up here might stress you out. Where are we there? Up here. So the gym up here could be up here for someone. The gym could be down here for someone. So you need to think of what your stress relieving activities are. And they're all different. So I can use me for an example. I personally get super stressed out by shopping. So that would be up here for me. But some people love going shopping and it's a stress relief for them. I love being outdoors, but being outdoors might stress someone out and they want some indoor time to relieve their stress. So this is what we want to do. What I want you to do is I want you to get a blank piece of paper and I want you to draw your stress bucket. Ooh, it's not showing up on there very well. So this is your stress bucket. I want you to assess where you are right now. So let's just put, where are you right now from a 1 to 5 in terms of stress? 5 is at the top and 1 is at the bottom. So where are you right now? Do you feel like you're almost at the verge and you've got all those symptoms that we've just talked about? Or are you down at a 1? That's fantastic. That's what we want people to be at. Although I would say 1 is around about here. So we don't want to be at a 0 from a stress perspective because once we go to a 0, that's when we start feeling demotivated and we lack doing things. But we want to see where we are in terms of the scale. So I'd love to know where you are from this perspective in terms of stress. How are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed right now or are you feeling pretty damn good? I'm just trying to see if I've got any comments. They're not coming up, which is all good. I can't say. There I am. So yeah, assess yourself first. Once you know where you are, what I want you to do is I want you to put your stresses at the top. So what is stressing you out right now? Then what I want you to do is see, can you remove some of these stresses? Because sometimes we can remove some of them. So there might be someone who's like a bad friend to you and you've been holding on to them for a few years and you're just sick of it now and you're like, I can get rid of it. Or there might be a project that you've been doing that isn't actually fulfilling you anymore that you can just get rid of. So can you remove any of your stresses? If the answer is no, don't worry. I know that loads of people have so many things going on in their lives and you know that's your priorities and you can't get rid of them. But can you remove any of them? If yes, give them a big cross, get rid of them. Then down here, what we want to do is we want to create those holes. So as many stress relieving activities as you can find. So we want to get that water out of your stress bucket and we want to put stress relieving activities. And also what we want in this area here is we want some big ones that may be a bit time consuming, but at the end of it, you're going to feel so good. But also small ones that you can practice on a daily basis so that you can bring the stress down on a daily basis. And then when you do find you maybe have a couple of hours to yourself, if that's a possibility for you, you might want to go, hey, I'm going to revisit that stress bucket. What can I do to make my stress come right down? So you might have 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon, for example. You're like, I want to get from a 5 down to a 3 this afternoon, and you feel pretty damn good. So that is it. It's really simple. The stress bucket exercise. I feel like it might be on the wrong side, so hopefully you've been able to follow this. Just put the lid on my pen. But this is what the stress bucket exercise looks like. Essentially, I want you to rate yourself from a stress perspective. Write your stresses up at the top. What is stressing you out? Can you remove anything? Then I want you to start creating some holes in your bucket. The more that you can put down in this area, the better. Stress relieving activities. Do you have big ones that might take a little bit more time, but they're important to note down? And then small ones that you can do on a daily basis just to bring things down. Even by, say if you're at a 4 before you go to bed, maybe go to bed like 15 minutes early and read your book, and it'll bring you down to a 3.8, for example. It's better to be able to bring your stress down before you sleep. So I hope that has helped you out. I personally love the stress bucket exercise. I think it's a fantastic tool, and I'm going to reassess myself from a stress perspective right now. As I said, my stress has come from more of a physical perspective, but also if I know that I can bring down my stress, because I do have mental stress as well. If I can bring down my overall stress, it will help my body. You've got to remember that stress does have a physical impact on you as well as a mental impact. So our cortisol levels high can actually cause our body to go a little bit out of whack, and can cause physical issues in the body too. So I'm encouraging you today to remove some of your stresses. What we find when we are less stressed is that we have more time for things. We actually can think a bit clearer, and then that's when we can start really focusing on our health and fitness goals. What I do want to reiterate, because this group is all about fitting in fitness into your life, and we want to do one step at a time. So if you are at a stage where you're like, oh, I'm fitting fitness into my life, I've got this bigger goal, then I can help you out if you want to. If you need the support from a coach to keep you on track and to make sure that you're doing the right thing, whether it's from a strength training perspective, a nutrition perspective, whatever it might be, I can help you from a one-to-one perspective to help you achieve those big goals. I personally have big goals, but also what I do want to say is that if you're wanting support from just getting those small lifestyle changes embedded into your life, which are going to make a big impact on your life, your family's life, your friend's life, that you're going to be feeling less stressed, you're going to feel much happier on yourself, you're going to feel more energy, you're going to feel like you are in control of your health, symptoms from your conditions that might reduce, and yeah, those lifestyle impacts make a big those lifestyle changes, and embedding those things into your life make a huge difference to you and your health and fitness. I want you to start today, if you can, with one thing. So think of one thing that you would like to focus on. So do you want to focus on helping yourself sleep a little bit better? Do you want to reduce your stress? Would you like to get some more exercise into your life but you don't know where to start? Is your nutrition all over the place and you're a bit confused about all the diets and things that are out there? If your nutrition is all over the place, I would advise you just to switch it up slightly. But whatever you want to focus on, think of one area of health and fitness that you're like, I want to focus on one thing. And just post below, so comment below what you would personally like to focus on. And then myself and Michelle, we can come in and we can comment and let you know like what we think would be best for you. And then I really encourage you to post in this group, because accountability is key. You showing up is key. If you feel like you do need a bit of a kick up the butt and you want a bit of a supportive community with coaches, then you can join my Scrap the Skills membership as well, which having that monetary investment into your health is proven to help you out, but the monetary investment isn't that high. It's only $4 for that's US dollars, $4 for your first month. So it's not a big investment, but it's an investment to go, I've paid for this, so I don't want to waste my money. Yeah, so I'm going to jump off now anyway. I don't know how long I've been talking for, probably a little bit too long. I hope you're all doing well. I've seen a couple of people jump on and off this live. If you are still watching, that's awesome. Let me know that you've watched though, because I want to know what's going on in people's lives to see how I can utilize what you guys need support with to come on and do more free trainings like this for you, to give you as much information as possible so that you are going to be successful in embedding healthy lifestyle once and for all. All right, see you later, guys.